Hey y'all, welcome back to Technique Tuesday. Okay, we're gonna jump straight into it. You know, we're gonna use that Noxzema. That mug burned my eyes. Well, it didn't burn my eyes, it just was real juicy. You know how something got alcohol in it and that alcohol has fumes? That's what happened. But make sure your skin is clean beforehand. But you're just using the Noxzema to make sure no oils are on your skin. I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. Y'all know that's one of my favorites, along with the Patrick Star Primer. And this is Fenty. I think this was the shade 410. It went by so fast, girl. I couldn't even catch it. But I'm using my beauty blender, and I'm making sure it gets everywhere. Don't say nothing about my install, because I did it myself. I think I did okay. What y'all think? I'm debating on if I want to post the video because it's flat. It looks good, but I think I should have tinted the lace a little bit darker. But we'll see how I feel. But yeah, make sure you get that coverage everywhere. You want to make sure you get everything. Just put it all over. Okay, so now for Technique Tuesday, we are going to use our match sticks. They have the formula of a wet to matte or like a wet to powder. You want to make sure that you rub the product on the back of your hand to create some type of heat to activate it, because once you try to rub it on already, like initially, it's going to be a little bit stiff and it's going to feel like powder. It's not going to feel right. So you want to make sure you activate that cream to powder formula. We're going to put this under our eyes, on the top of our lip, down the bridge of our nose, and on our chin, a little bit on the forehead, but basically covering all the parts that you want to be highlight. We're not going to use any additional concealer for this. This matchstick is going to be our concealer, so put as much or as little as you want to, and make sure that you put some of the product on the side of your nose, because that's gonna help carve out your contour. And you see how that blends out. I love the way it blends out, really creamy. But yeah, so put some on the side of your nose. This is gonna help accentuate your contour. And we're still going to use our beauty blender to blend this out. And notice how I go in a little bit more with the nose blending. See how, blend that out? Yeah. And now you can basically see how the nose contour is about to be. I know y'all see that. But yeah, put a little bit on your eyes if you want to have a base. And then you can go ahead and do some eyeshadow if you want to. I would just probably put one shade on. So yeah, basically I'm blending this out, blending any creases out, going in with the Espresso matchsticks. This is going to be our contour. You're going to do the same thing. You want to activate it, then you want to rub it on. So yeah, I know it looks dark, but it blends out really good. So you don't need a lot. You can definitely build this up though. This formula can be built up. So I'm gonna use the same technique of blending on my nose. So I start on the sides towards the front of the brow, and I blend that in, and I'm just going in an up and down motion and a tapping motion. So up and down the bridge of my nose, but tapping the product. You want to do this with a smaller brush so that you can really get into your nose and carve out this shape. Of course, anything that's creamy, you want to set it with powder. This is a cream to powder formula, but I reinforce that powder because I don't want the product to move. So I will use this bronzing palette that I have in my hand from Juvia's Place in the shade Tan. I will be using that to go over it. You want to blend out any harsh edges, which was what I was doing. And this is me showing you that I'm going to go ahead and use that to set the creamy part of the formula. Even though it does say cream to powder, this is just me. That's just how my technique is. You want to go ahead and blend it into the brow a little further. And also you can add a little bit on top of your lid for eyeshadow. You don't have to necessarily use eyeshadow for stuff like this. You can go ahead and use your bronzer or your contour if you want to. Now to blend out the cheek contour, I'm going to use the e.l.f. highlighter brush, but this is going to be used as my contour brush. I'm going to do the flick. It's like a flicking, smoothing motion. You're going to go up towards the concealer. You don't want to go down with your contour because it's supposed to snatch you, and you don't want to snatch down. You want to snatch up, if that makes sense. So you're forming the shape of your cheekbones, and any harsh lines I blend that out with my beauty blender. That was the Ben Nye Nutriset translucent powder, and I'm tapping that on with the beauty blender. You can use as much or as little of this as you want. Powder is very powerful, so you can definitely achieve a lot with powder. If you mess up, you can definitely save your face with powder. So be mindful that although it's something that's lightweight, it still can affect your makeup. So as you can see, it gave me a smoothing, brightening effect. And the reason why I'm going in with layers is because that is my T-zone area. So you notice how I'm concentrating on my nose, under my eyes, and on the side of my nose, because I get very, very oily right there. So I personally feel like I can pack on as much powder as I want to, and it will be fine, because by the end of the day, my natural oils are going to eat that. It's going to eat that powder up anyway. So I'm going to blend it out as much as I possibly can and come back in with my contour brush, which was with that, the bronzer on there. And I'm going to just blend out, like, see, like that. I'm just going to blend out if I went too far over just a little bit, just reinforcing that bronzing. And I will go back over it with my beauty blender too, but this is just to mesh all those powders in. And then I will go back over the face with a setting spray to blend it out. So this is me showing you how the bronzer does in fact shape your cheekbone. So you want to make sure you got an angle brush for this to keep that angle of your cheekbones. You don't want to use a big powder brush. No, you want something angled. So now I'm carving out my contour. You don't need a little of this goes a long way. And make sure you go directly under it. And don't do this and let it stay like that. You need to blend that in, and you'll see me do that in a few. So here you can see me blending it out, and you'll see me kind of dust a little bit over that harsh line because we don't want that to stay there. You don't ever want someone to look at your makeup and know where everything is. It needs to look as one. So here I am spraying it down, and then I'll go over it with the beauty blender to mesh everything together. If that makes sense. If it looks a little bit too bright, if you notice when I get closer to the ring light, everything looks brighter. It's because the ring light is very bright. But I went in with my MAC NC55 powder, and this is something that's a little bit more closer to my skin tone. So it's going to make sure to reinforce my color instead of the different, the matchstick that I use. So you see how it meshed everything together? Now I'm using rum. This is basically going to serve as my highlighter today. I'm going to put that on my nose. Sorry about my ashy hands. I wash my hands a lot. But yeah, so we're basically going to go down the bridge of our nose and the tip of our nose. And we're going to take the brush that we use for our contour and just clean it up. Take the beauty blender, and this is going to be on our cheeks. Now you can see on the side that there's not a harsh line where I did the powder underneath the contour. You want to be able to tell a difference. Like you can see that, oh, your cheekbones are carved or shaped, but I can't see the line that was there, if that makes sense. Like you want to see a difference, but you don't want the difference to be so defined. Like you don't want it to be like, oh, you still got a line right there. You get what I'm saying? You want it to just naturally look like it flows. So I'm using my Beats by Deb brown pencil to line my lips, and for the inside I'm going to use Juvia's Place Muted Lipstick. And then I'm going to go on top of that with the Juvia's Place, I think it was called Naked lip gloss. Give me 1 second. So it's called Barely There. So I put the Barely There lip gloss on top, and that is going to serve as my lip combo today. Let me know if you guys like the look and if you're going to try it out. If you have matchsticks, let me know if you knew to heat the product up to activate it. Basically just rub it against your skin to let it get creamy. Let me know if you have any other techniques that you would want me to try, or if you saw something interesting or interesting product, leave it in the comment section below. And I'm gonna let y'all finish watching the rest of this video. Yes, I overline my lips. I feel like it makes my looks look complete. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bye. See y'all next Tuesday.